Friends and viewer, George Bernard Shaw, a very famous playwright of the world, had written many plays like Arms and Man and Superman, uh, many plays. The one which I am going to discuss now with you today is the name of which is Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. And let me tell you about this play. The movie was built from the same by Rex Harrison and Audrey Hepburn, My Fair Lady. So My Fair Lady, the movie was, the story was taken from this, based on this Pygmalion play by George Bernard Shaw. The story of this starts like the two gentlemen meet in the rain one night at Covent Garden. Professor Higgins is a scientist of phonetics and Colonel Pickering is a linguist of Indian dialect. The first bets the other that he can, with his knowledge of phonetics, convince high London society that in a matter of months he will be able to transform the Cockney-speaking Covent Garden flower girl Eliza Doolittle into a woman as poised and well-spoken as Duchess. The next morning, the girl appears at his laboratory on Wimpole Street to ask for a speech lesson, offering to pay a shilling so that she may speak properly enough to work in a flower shop. Higgins makes merciless fun of her, but is seduced by the idea of working his magic on her. Pickering goads him on by agreeing to cover the cost of the experiment if Higgins can pass Eliza off as a duchess at an ambassador's garden party. The challenge is taken and Higgins starts by having his housekeeper bath Eliza and give her new clothes. Then Eliza's father, Alfred Doolittle, comes to demand the return of his daughter. Though his real intention is to hit Higgins up for some money, because he was a greedy man, the professor, amused by Doolittle's unusual rhetoric, gives him £5 on his way out. The dustman fails to recognize the now clean, pretty flower girl as his daughter. For a number of months, Higgins trains Eliza to speak properly. 2 trials for Eliza follow. The first occurs at Higgins' mother's home, where Eliza is introduced to the Hainsford Hills, a trio of mother, daughter, and son. The son, Freddie, is very attracted to her and further taken with what he thinks is her affected small talk. When she slips into Cockney, Mrs. Higgins worries that the experiment will lead to problem once it is ended, but Higgins and Pickering are too absorbed in their game to take heed. A second trial, which takes place some months later at an ambassador's party and which is not actually staged, is a resounding success. The wager is definitely won, but Higgins and Pickering are now bored with the project, which causes Eliza to be hurt. She throws Higgins' slipper at him in a rage because she does not know what is to become of her, thereby bewildering him. He suggests she marry somebody. She returns him with the hired jewelry and he accuses her of ingratitude. The following morning, Higgins rushes to his mother in a panic because Eliza has run away. On his tail is Eliza's father, now unhappily rich from the trust of a deceased millionaire who took to heart Higgins' recommendation that Doolittle was England's most original moralist. Mrs. Higgins, who has been hiding Eliza upstairs all along, chides the two of them for playing with the girl's affections. When she entered, Eliza thanks Pickering for always treating her like a lady. She but threatens again that she will go work with his rival phonetician Nepomuk. The outraged Higgins cannot help but start to admire her. As Eliza leaves for her father wedding, Higgins shouts out a few errands for her to run, assuming that she will return to him at Wimpole Street. Eliza, who has a love-lorn sweetheart in Freddie and the withdrawal to pass and a duchess, never makes it clear whether she will or not. So this is the story of the Pygmalion written by George Bernard Shaw. Pygmalion derives its name from famous story Ovid Metamorphosis, in which Pygmalion, disgusted by the loose, shameful lives of women of his era, decided to live alone and unmarried. With wondrous art, he creates a beautiful statue more perfect than any living woman. The more he looks upon her, the more deeply he falls in love with her, according to Metamorphosis of Ovid. With her until he wishes that she were more than a statue. This statue is a Galita. Lovesick Pygmalion goes to the temple of the goddess Venus and prays that she give him a lover like his statue. Venus is touched by his love and brings Galata to life. When Pygmalion returns from Venus' temple and kisses his statue, he is delighted to find that she is warm and soft to the touch. The maiden felt the kisses, blushed, and lifted her timid eyes up to light, saw the sky and her lover at the same time. So this is the myth. This was taken by George Bernard Shaw. So this is just what George Bernard Shaw does in his version of Pygmalion myth. In doing so, he exposes the inadequacy of myth and of romance in several ways. For one, he deliberately twists the myth so that the play does not conclude as or conventionally hanging instead in unconventional ambiguity. Next, he mires the story under sordid and mundane. So the characters are seen to be belabored by a trivial detail of like napkins and neckties. So in this play, the professor succeeded in teaching her the real phonetics and had corrected her pronunciation and making her a decent lady, turning her into a decent lady. So this is a very beautiful, very interesting play written by George Bernard Shaw. I hope you will enjoy. And while you will see the movie, My Fair Lady, played by Rex Harrison and Audrey Hepburn. Thank you very much.